Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Happy Friday. I hope you've had a wonderful week, and I hope you are going to have a wonderful weekend. We are back from Vegas. We got back on Saturday. Unfortunately, we came back with the flu, myself and Brooke. Dalton has not got it, or he didn't get it that bad. I finally have my voice back, and I'm happy. So I'm feeling a lot better, but not 100%. So I would like to share with you some of the sales that we had during our time while we were in Las Vegas. And these are going to be all bread and butter. They are stuff that you can find pretty easily. They are out there. I will let you know where I got it. I will let you know how long it took to sell and what my profit was from it as well. And on Sunday, I'm going to show you the high dollar stuff that sold while we were in Vegas. So this one's the bread and butter, and then we'll do the higher dollar on Sunday. And I hope that you find something useful out of this. I do these what sold videos so you know what to look for when you're outsourcing, or if you have it around the house or in your death pile, you know that it's selling right now. So let's go ahead and take a look. All right, so we will start with the back door here on eBay, and our sales are up, if you see, over the last 31 days by 27%, but that's kind of relative. So yeah, it's great to see they're up 27%, but we're still at 50% of where I want them to be. So I'm glad that we're up, but we still have a lot of work to do. So I actually have been taking the weekends off. I'm not taking this weekend off. I'm going to do some listing while we're having fun. I'm gonna do a little combination weekend and not completely take it off like I have been, because unfortunately with going to Vegas and then coming home with the flu, I am really behind on listing. So I do have to work this weekend. So I hope you don't have to and you're having fun. So this week we've done $2,156. Today we're at $332.59. And again, up 27%, but at 9,500, and we want to be at 20 for the month. We're only at 27 for 3 months. So definitely way below where we want to be, but we're working on getting that up. So let's go ahead, take a look at some of the stuff that makes up that 2156. This is not everything that makes that up, just a little sampling to give you guys an idea of what is selling right now. First up is one I absolutely love, but it took a year to sell. This is a really cool mid-century modern roses. This is like classic mid-century modern. And again, took a year, but really, really neat piece. And this is something I would still pick up again. This one I accepted a best offer of 25. So right at 50% off of my original asking, which was $48.99. And I only paid, I think, $4 for this one at the thrift store. So it's still about $17 profit. You can see those greens, like that avocado green and orange, to me is your standard basic mid-century modern, and good profit on this one, but it did take a long time. Next up is another one that sold on the sale, and I sent them 10% off. So it actually sold for 43. This is a Lemax Sea Ghost pirate ship model. Lights and sounds works. We did put minimal damage and read because there were some condition issues. So this one was listed in July. So it's been about 8 or 9 months since it was listed. And it did, again, it had some flaws. You can see the lights were on there, but there was a piece that had broken off. You can see, look, the people are not there. The shoes are there. The pirates are not. So had some condition issues. Still sold for over $40 though. I did get this from an online auction, and I believe it actually got broke in shipping, which does happen. So still made probably about $20 from this. I did pay around, I think, $15 to $20, and it did take a little bit longer to sell, but that damaged stuff will still sell. And it took that 40% off sale though to get this one gone. Another tablecloth, but this one sold pretty fast. This one sold in under 2 months. This is a vintage Willander fruit salad print tablecloth. It's a 43 inch, so it's for a small table, we did have reed because there was staining throughout. This one sold for full price and sold in under 2 months. So with the linens, and I say this a lot because that's something that I really love to sell. You don't know if it's going to take a month or two or a year or two. So make sure you have room if you pick up vintage linens, because getting a true sell-through rate on them is very, very hard, but it's just something that I love picking up and love selling. So this one I only paid $3 for at the thrift store, making it over a $35 profit. And you can see some of the light staining here throughout. So you definitely want to disclose that. But I found with the vintage linens that really is not a deterrent on whether they will sell or not. Next is this vintage Bly crystal red cut to clear. I used to always think these were valuable. Typically they are not, just so you know, but this is a small one. It's only 5 inches. This one sold for $22.99. I got it in an online auction lot, just paid a few dollars. So it's about a $15 profit. And this one did not take overly long to sell, about 6 months. And again, it is small, so not hard to ship. And if it had been a bigger one only worth that, I definitely would have left it behind. Next up is one that took a very long time to sell, and I was actually pretty surprised that it did. And it did take a 50% off offer to get it sold. So this is a vintage amethyst and marcasite sterling silver cross. It even had the sterling necklace, and I did have to send out a $35 offer. I only paid $5 though, so it's still about a $24, $25 profit. 2 years for this one to sell. Sometimes you never really know. I always think that marcasite is going to be really popular, but honestly, I have a really hard time selling marcasite. If you sell stuff with marcasite, let me know how your stuff moves. Maybe there's a keyword that I'm not aware of and could have used to get this sold faster, but still a decent profit, and jewelry really doesn't take up a lot of space. Up next is this Coach Hampton Signature Brown canvas handbag. I didn't put purse. I do typically try and put purse in almost all of them, whether they're a handbag, shoulder bag. I feel like purse is searched for. This one I sold for a best offer of $41. You can see it does have the 40% off sale. This one was listed in August, so it's about 7 months. I did put stuff that was over 6 months into this sale just because sales have been low to try and kind of boost our sales, and it has been working. Now, here you can see those Coach tags as well as the measurements, and you want to make sure to show any wear and tear or stains. And we did put, there were scuffs on the leather corners, and here you can see those scuffs. So you want to make sure you show that and write it as well. And this one I got in a big designer buyout, and so I'm not sure of my exact cost or profit on this, unfortunately, but overall on that big buy, we are in the profit. Up next is this multi-sack black faux leather crossbody. I love picking these up. This one did take a little bit longer to sell. It was listed back in June, so it took about 9 months to sell. Did sell for a best offer of $24.49. I picked this up for $5 at the thrift store, so it's about a $15 profit. It did have a couple of small wear areas, nothing really bad. And I picked these up, and again, they do take a little bit longer to sell, but the sack crochet ones tend to sell a little bit faster for me. Next up is a cute little snail, and this one did not take long to sell. This one took less than 2 months, and this one sold for best offer I sent out of $40.49, and it's just a cute little snail on a leaf. So with the Swarovskis, definitely check them because there are quite a few like this that are small. You can find them for pretty good prices. I only paid about $5 for this one. So this one's about a $30 profit. And again, sold in under 2 months. And we got a lot of Swarovski, and we have already sold a few of them. And you can see the swan here on the bottom, and it definitely does help though if you are able to get them with the box, but that is definitely not required. We sell them quite often without the box as well. Next up is a Vittorio Rossi trekking vest. This one is size large. I did put fishing, hunting, and Sherpa. It was Sherpa line. I sent out a 30% offer for $48. This was a dollar thrift store buy. So this one is about a $40 profit and took right at 6 months. I did not find many comps on this brand, but it was a really nice fishing vest. So for a dollar, I took a chance and it definitely paid off. Next up is another one that was kind of the same as that last one. This was a dollar pickup. I couldn't find much on Kaiser, but it was definitely a vintage lingerie piece. So for a dollar, willing to take that chance. Again, when it's a low buy cost and I have a lot of space, I tend to pick up a lot more than some people would. This one sold for a best offer of $20, making it about a $15 profit in about 8 months. So there's that Kaiser made in the USA tag. Again, definitely vintage. You can see the size 38 and it took a while, but this is not something that takes up a ton of space. Next up is some more thrift store finds. So quite a few thrift store finds in this video. This is a set of 4 light blue swirl. These are Duralex from France. Picked these up for a dollar a piece. These were listed back in June, so about 9 months to sell. They sold for a best offer of $32. I'm $4 in. And that makes them close to a $25 profit. So a little bit longer to sell. The bowls and plates are not really overly hard as far as shipping because you can stack them. Took a little bit longer. Again, with the stuff that I'm showing you guys, keep in mind if you have space, if you do not have a lot of space, this stuff that's taking 6 months, 8 months, 9 months or longer is stuff that I would not pick up. I would concentrate more on that stuff that's selling in 3 months or less. Next up is another, so this long tail stuff is selling. This is another one that took a year and I did send a half off offer, sold for $35. These are Weekend by Max Mara, and these are actually new with the tag is the crazy thing. And these, I think, originally are like $150 pants, but we got 35 and I paid less than 5. So $25 profit. Took a year to sell. So it's a good brand, but not necessarily in demand. Next up, I actually sold 2 of these for that a $10 offer. So it was a $20 sale. I sold 2 at $10. You can see it does say out of stock now. These are cute little schnauzer. They were actually, I think they might have been like cocktail napkins. I did put pocket scarf. I wasn't really sure. You can see they're 10 inches or they were little handkerchiefs. So $20 sale. I was less than $1 in, about a $15 profit, but these actually took 2 years to sell. Another one that took a year. I feel like I'm showing those of you that don't have space stuff you should not pick up because it takes too long. This is a vintage lot of trim accent lace. It's about 20 yards. And again, took a year for it to sell. Sold for full price, so $32. I was less than $1 in. So this is over $25 profit on a little bit of lace. This is a $500 quote. Let's see if this is a good offer. I'm going to go ahead and click it while we're doing the video and we can take a look. All right. Look at this. See, this is what happened. $90 offer on a $559 item. So we're going to decline that. And you can see here, $279 is the lowest that I was willing to take, but I'm just going to decline this one because it's nowhere near what I would like. Next up is one that might surprise you. These sold very, very fast. They sold in under a month. This is a set of 3 ornaments, and these 3 sold for $22.49. I sent off a 10% offer, and they are just plain vintage shiny bright. Now, you can see I do have the Donald Duck, and I'm going to show you that one. That's probably why these sold so fast. So here you can see it just has that little imprint. So I'm less than $1 into the 3 of these. They sold for $22 and they're about a $16 profit. Next up is a pair of skates, and these actually took less than 2 months to sell, and I was getting lowball offers. Somebody told me, oh, I'll give you 75 because they're worn. They're only 200 new. And I just ignored them, and they ended up selling full price at $149.99. Watch for skates, especially branded. You can see these are Rydell. They were only worn a few times. They do have wear, but they still sold for $150. We did have the original box, and these are actually a friend of mine's son, so I will split the profit on these with him. So fees on these are going to be about $30. So that'll leave us about $120 to split, and he'll get $60 that he didn't have before. Next up is one I priced high, and I actually ended up getting almost $30, $29 for this. And I was surprised I did. It's a really cool piece, but it is an unbranded costume. It was marked Germany, you can see here, and really, really cute kind of boho chunky bracelet. I did put fruit salad and sold for 30. I was only a couple dollars in. So this one's a $25 profit, but this one did take about 8 months. Next up is one that took about 4 months to sell. This is a Calvin Klein skirt. You can see it did have an MSRP of $79. It sold for a best offer I sent out, 30% off for $20, but I got this at the thrift store for only $8. So this one is about a $15 profit. You can see here the measurements and the tag, and yes, there was a hair on that. We probably should have took that off, but $15 profit. Don't pay too much attention to those MSRPs. You need to make sure you look up what they are actually selling for now. Next up is one, if you guys do not know, Donald Trump shirts as well as ties do sell. This one did take 8 months. It sold for $25. I got this in an online auction lot for about $5. So this one is about a $15 profit, and it took longer to sell. Again, it really depends on your business model. If you want to pick up these items that are taking longer to sell, some people run on items that will only sell within 3 to 6 months. I am okay with those items that take longer, up to a year. Last up for eBay, before I switch over and show you guys a few from Mercari and Poshmark, this is a set of 2 Fondale by Morgantown champagne glasses. You can see I put C. These actually had flea bites, and they sold on a 50% off offer. 25. They do glow. I didn't show that, which is kind of my own fault. I think they would have sold faster if I did, because they do glow under a black light. So $24. These are about break even. They were bought in an online auction lot. We did pull out the damaged ones though, and the ones that did not have imperfections did sell for more, and they did sell faster. All right, we are going to move over to Mercari. If you do not know, I do use List Perfectly to cross post, and I am going to try and get you guys an updated tutorial video on that, because it has so many features now that I have not yet showed you. This is an express dress shirt, men's large red floral slim fit. This one sold for $33, and I actually only paid about $10. So it's about a $15 profit, and it actually has a sale price of $24.99 on it, and I sold it for $33. So that goes back to that MSRP. Sometimes stuff is worth more than that MSRP states, and sometimes it is going to be worth less. Next are some Keen shoes. If you don't know about Keens, definitely keep an eye out for them. I've done well with them. These sold for 30. Payout was 24. I picked them up at the thrift store for only 5. So these are about a $19 profit. And you can see here they're not in the best of condition. There's that Keen. And I have had good luck with Keen, even if they do have a little bit of wear. I have still been able to get a pretty decent price for them. Next up is some Florida Gators men's lounge pants. These sold for 20. Payout was 15. I only paid $1, $14 profit. I am a sucker for Gator stuff because I am a Gators fan. So I pick up almost all Gator stuff that I find. Watch though, baseball is just now starting. Basketball is in full swing, and football, come on, football. We have a while before football starts again, but I do change my listing. So like Gator stuff, where in the fall I'm putting football. Right now I would be putting Gators basketball, because all this Gator stuff could be for any of those sports. And I will put in my title what sport is going on right now, because those are probably the fans that are looking for gear. All right, that was everything. I hope you've enjoyed. We've had some decent sales. The majority of these, though, took a long time to sell. So I really, again, want to point out, if you don't have a ton of space, those are probably things you should stay away from. And all of us have different business models. My rooster is going crazy if you happen to hear him. I am okay with stuff taking longer to sell because I do have space. I have a large property. I have multiple sheds. But if you're working out of one room or you're working out of a garage, some of that stuff you're probably going to want to skip. The vintage linens are definitely one. And then some of the clothing brands, you got to be really careful because they can take a long time to sell. So I'm glad our sales are up. I'm going to be pushing to list more and hopefully continue to see those sales get back to where they need to be. Again, I wish you a wonderful weekend. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Follow me, subscribe. Over half the people that watch me are not subscribed. Make sure you're subscribed. Turn on the bell notification, and I will see you on the next one.